We are back after a long delay.
It does feel like it's so
Which
much longer
we did
because
we
of.
did skip quite a while because of
No,
Christmas.
did we
So
do it a
it's
little
like,
bit early though? The last one? I thought it was still the first week in December, I think, right? Oh no, we
no.
bumped it because I goofed and I had a thing, so it was like a week before that. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's been we've had a pause.
And
We've had a
holidays
pause.
holidays just feel longer. Something's up about that. Like there's something about that December month. Anyhow.
It's the Twilight Zone is what it is.
Mhm.
But we're back. We're coming out hot. And going to talk about a nearly 30-year-old album today.
Yeah, what was it? Was it 2002?
No, 1997, Kev.
Oh, this was the one. Okay, so I do. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, Computer, as you can see, hopefully, by Radiohead, which is one of my favorite bands of all time. And I think I was trying to think back, like, why did I choose this one,
Oh, that's a good
a
question.
month and a half ago?
Yeah.
And I think I just had a moment where I was like, if I wanted somebody to understand why I love this band, and I don't, and I'm pretty sure they've never heard it before. What album would I choose? And this was the one that came to mind of like,
Mm,
I
I
don't
see.
think you would have listened to it all the way through. You may not have even heard any singles from this, right? Like there's no, as we'll talk about, there's no like uh pop song from this
Well, they
album.
don't, I
There's one
mean,
kind of. Um,
but they don't even have, besides Creep, like, is there a
it's a
pop-ish
great question.
banger? Like,
I don't know. So this is the funny thing is because like because of my relationship to this band, I know like everything about them. And like I don't know the answer to that question, right? Like to me, from what I understand, Creep,
hmm
which I think was released in like 1993, like that's an old song now.
yeah.
It's as old as me.
That was their first
Uh
commercially successful thing, right?
it was like their first song.
What?
Well,
I thought they had an album before that, no?
they had an EP before
Oh,
that.
I didn't realize it was so early. I thought it was
Yeah. And what's funny about that song is that it's honestly a great song. Like it's really good.
don't they not like it?
I feel like I don't like it. It's been played to death. Like
Sure.
I feel like fans of the band would tell you like
Right.
it's not like we wouldn't I'd never listen to that song and wouldn't, right? Like it's just like yeah, it's like a meme now. Like it's not even music anymore. But it's funny because it's like for a band that has had such a prolific career, it is like so
Right.
serious. They're like the most serious people ever. Like this kind of ridiculous song that is honestly unlike anything that they've made in their career since is the one thing that everybody knows.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of why I chose this album is because it's like if you think Radiohead is creep, you need to listen to OK
Right.
Computer. You
Right.
know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so that's kind of where I was coming from with
Okay.
this pick. Um, I'm going to stop sharing the screen now because I think we get it. Although we should come back to this image. We're going to come back to this image later, I
Okay,
think.
I mean, I'm very curious about a lot of things.
Okay.
Sure.
So, as is tradition, now that I've given the introduction, we are going to ask Kevin what your impression was and what your experience was for the last
A month and a
40
bit.
days of listening to this.
Yeah, so I would say I kind of knew going in. Okay, so my background on Radiohead, know it's a big band to you. I've heard songs throughout. I think the first one you ever would have introduced me to that I can recall is probably Fake Plastic Trees. I remember you
Interesting.
putting that in there. No, it might be Karma Police. Or maybe like on one mix back in the day, you would put both of those songs.
I could see either one of those on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think, known that, had no, like, you just hear about Radiohead, and I think having looked into some music-y things, one little tidbit that always stuck out in my head was so this was the one. So this, is it Kid A? Came out in like
It
'01.
could have came out on one. Yep.
That they're both individually considered like one of the best albums of that decade. And they kind of straddle the year, which is kind of interesting, right? Like they've gotten a best album in the '90s and the 2000s, which is just interesting.
Yep.
Um, So like I definitely knew about all the things. Um,
It would be crazy if you had never heard of this
right.
album
You
before.
just didn't know about um
Or you'd be like 10.
Radiohead.
You know what I mean? Like,
That's
yeah.
true.
Uh,
Um,
continue.
yeah, like I knew for this because it's outside of like the music I would just gravitate towards naturally. I knew I would have to give it more time, like to make sure that there were multiple listens. Something I've been thinking about a lot is there's something to me like okay, so I'll use Karma Police as an example. Like even just having known that song for so long, even though I don't listen to it per se, but like that makes me like it more. Like it
Hmm.
just has I'm like, oh cool, like this one's on, I know this one, you find the different things with it. So I kind of knew that was probably gonna need to happen for the album.
And we discussed this last time that we're discovering that
I don't know what it is.
maybe you have a thing like because well, what did we decide? It was that like the thing that you like about music is that you have a sense of going somewhere, but you of course have to have heard the song before in
Right, to
order to
know if it
know
was
if
gonna
it's going
right,
somewhere and
right,
like
right.
where. So I think it makes sense that you
Right.
just like music that you've heard before, basically.
Correct. Correct. I think I still am up in the air about like what the answer is to what I like about music. But so go into it. Like I remember the first time I put it on, my first thoughts were like it just completely immediately took me back to like early 2000s dark winter. I don't know. Like that just I was like, how does it immediately make you feel that time? That was it. So like that was very much there. And overall, I don't think like I really find myself feeling throughout afterwards. Oh, I would definitely put this on in the background. I don't think I would seek out it because like to me there's so many little hooky interesting things that kind of take a while to come to fruition.
Mhm.
To me, that's not something I'm going to seek out to be like, okay, I'm going to sit down and listen to this song. Also, there's some long songs in this album. Like it's a lengthier album. Um, but it's very much like a feeling, a vibe. It fits all together in that way. And I think I'd written like one of my notes was around this feels like, oh, they made all of this music together cohesively and it had a purpose. Where I think nowadays I've just been getting more of this sense with albums that it's like, okay, they had three hits, and they're like, well, I gotta have seven other songs to put on this album to make it an
Yeah,
album.
fill it
With
out.
this, yeah, you're just filling it out. Where this, you're like, oh, okay, like they were just making all this music and it was all together. So I am very curious to hear about like the lore of the album. What is it about, if anything? Like that doesn't really come across to me at all. It felt very cinematic, I will say that. Um, there were
I
some
mean,
songs that really grew on me. Um,
oh, I can't wait to hear about this.
like even today, I put it on like just before this to just like have it again back on the background and just be like, okay, like what's kind of standing out again. So yeah,
Yep.
there we are.
So it might make sense to talk about the production of it first, which was one of the things that I think is important to talk about with this album. So let's start there. And so I think we can, well, actually, let's bring the image back up because I think we could start with literally the name of the album and the album cover art, right? Because you mentioned like, oh, it puts me in like this like early 2000s winter. The early 2000s is probably just because like that's when you heard these songs for the first time. Maybe, I don't
Not
know.
even no, like I wouldn't have heard him until 2011 when you would put him on the thing,
Oh, okay, interesting. Well, maybe it's just like the production is of
or
that
even
time.
that, or even just like the nostalgia piece of it was like I felt much more like a kid. Like you could just tell it was older, so maybe I just
It's
like put
older.
myself in. Yeah, you just kind
It's,
of
I
know.
mean, there's a whole conversation that we can have about how like the production of music kind of ages it. Like it tells you when it was made, even though like you're not hearing anything like you couldn't put your finger on like why that sounds like 2000, but it's just like batches of songs kind of have similar production techniques, and that's
And the
probably
same, I recently
part of it.
listened to A Rush of Blood to the Head, that Coldplay album, and like to me, the production
Hmm.
aspect of it, I'm like they're in the same vein. Like they're very much like winter, early 2000s to me.
You're
Anyway,
so right. And we could do that album.
anyway, it really isn't. I didn't like it as much. I really fell in love with that for a bit when I was in high school or college, and like I listened to it again. I was like, okay, like There's some good
Interesting.
ones, but I don't know. Anywho, continue.
For
So,
a later
yeah,
discussion.
what
Yeah.
is this? What? Yeah,
So
I'm so curious.
I think that this album art and the name of the album actually goes a long way into like making you feel what it makes you feel.
Hmm.
A,
Mm.
okay, computer. Like to me, this is an album about robots. It's about machines. It's about like the alien and the unknown and like modern life and like the scariness that comes with
Hmm.
basically like living in a time of constant technological change, right? Where it's just like 20 years from now could look drastically different than right now, right? Which is like not something that has happened that doesn't happen to people normally, right?
Yeah, and this, like, for context, is this right as like the internet boom is happening, I guess, right?
It would have been, yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
Okay.
I
Okay.
mean, I was 4 years old, but I think that's roughly the time frame. Um, Old people listening in the future are laughing at this part right here.
I will say
Um,
too, with the like early 2000s winter, I was also driving in this scenario, like in this image in my head, which is fun that there was this like highway-y thing. Like I,
roads, yes.
roads. You think roads is a big theme in this? Okay, go.
Roads. No, it's not. But like it's on the album art. And then there is just like the white washout. Like to me, this looks like winter. This looks like winter in
Hmm.
a city.
Okay.
You know what I
Okay.
mean? And I
Yeah.
just think like those two things going together really put you in like a mood for this album, which kind of dovetails with the production. Like it's made in 1997. I'm sure you were listening for it and heard it. There's a decent amount of bleep bloop on this album. Like the machines are on.
Hmm.
Right? Uh, it's I wouldn't call it an electronic album, right?
Do they
Not at
have
all.
electronic stuff?
They do, yeah. It's so I don't know like enough about like okay, what are the exact because I don't know
Okay.
anything about music production. Like what are the things that they were using that like made that work? But you can hear it, mostly you can hear it in the intros and outros of songs
Hmm.
and the space between songs and the one interlude, which I don't even know if we should talk about it. Um, like all that stuff has a lot of like, yeah, electronic music. Like, and I
Yeah,
think some
okay.
of it was probably recorded analog, but it sounds like computer glitches and it
Oh,
sounds like
okay.
sirens
Okay.
and bells and alarms and all that stuff. And this was, I think, their first experimentation with electronic music. So it's not a laptop album yet. But then they made Kid A 4 years later, which basically was a
Is it
laptop
really?
album.
So would you
Yeah.
like laptop? How are you defining that? Like
Like, so this OK Computer was recorded entirely live
in a
in a
studio?
big, giant, like countryside house in the UK.
They're Brit. Yeah,
Um,
I thought they were British. Okay.
yeah, like over the course of just like, I think like a very short period of time. Like this was a live recorded album. Everything, like you're hearing a ton of just like spaces, which is interesting, probably why I like it.
Yeah.
Um, but they definitely start to pull in a lot of electronic stuff, and I think they're experimenting. Like you could definitely tell, like they're fiddling around a little bit,
Hmm.
um, and it becomes like a much bigger piece of their sound as they progress. Like if you listen to the next, like everything that they release afterwards, there's more and more and more until there's one or two albums that they've made in, Kid A is one of them. The King of Limbs is another one that it's like I, I'm like I can't even identify what these instruments are sometimes. You're
Hmm.
just like, what is this?
Hmm.
Um, and there's a little bit of that happening here. And I realized when I was listening to it just for this episode, not even like I've never really put this together, in my past, that I kind of get the sense I can't stop picturing them in this giant house, just
Hmm.
like smashing like old machines and just like seeing what noises come out of it. And it made me get this sense of like, and I've had this sense with other music that I like a lot, where it's like to me it sounds like people who are trying to harness something that's already there rather than producing it. And it's just like pull it out of the air and are just like, we need to wrangle this shit now. Like that's what these songs sound like to me. Because they're kind of chaotic, you know.
Yeah.
Uh, like almost all of them are pretty chaotic aside from like two. Um, so yeah, and that's like the production background of this, and it's my initially I felt like oh, there's enough like electronic stuff in here that makes me feel like I can't quite hear the room that they're in. But it's ironic that it was recorded live, and it's like a couple places you literally can hear
Hmm.
like them unplugging their
No,
like
that's cool.
guitars and stuff.
That's cool.
So yeah, check production wise checks a lot of boxes for
Free.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, you could definitely like you get without even thinking about it, you're right that it does just feel like now that I think back on it, oh yeah, they're all like there making this music. Like it felt yeah, it doesn't feel that produced. It feels recorded. Like
recorded.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Um, which is like rarer and rarer
Yeah.
for people of our age.
Yeah, it's just so cohesive. I think that's the other thing too. Like it really is. I think there was one I have like one of the songs that looking back at my notes that I was like, oh, this feels like a little outside of the vibe or whatever. Um, but it just all fits. Like I would like I think that's also why I would put it on the background is it's you would put this on because you want to feel a certain way.
Yeah,
It would
it
just be
does. It
on
does
and
have
you're
a
just
mood to
like,
it.
yeah, it has just a mood. You're like, okay, yeah, like I get it. Like I don't know if angst is the right word, but just maybe it is like this kind of angst of like computery worlds of like what's going on, what are we doing thing.
Yeah,
It's cool.
I I also think so. The other reason that this is an interesting one for me is this was not my favorite Radiohead album growing
Oh yeah,
up,
what's
and like
your how did you get into Radiohead? Where does this album fit into that?
so this is why this is really the reason why I chose this album is I think if we're really being honest, Karma Police was the moment where I was like, I want to see what this band is about. Like I remember watching like a music video of Karma Police
Hmm.
like when I was, I don't know, 15, 16 years old. And I was like, oh, like I loved the song then, I love the song now. And that I think is what made me kind of explore not just Radiohead, but like this type of music in general.
Mm.
Like I was not listening to this kind of thing at the time. But what's funny is like I never I never during that period of time, like up until relatively recently, I never really fully connected with this whole album. It wasn't my favorite. Wouldn't have been
Hmm.
my favorite. And now it's so much like my t so basically like, that's a decade and a half ago now that I heard this stuff for the first time. And like my tastes have grown so much in that time.
Hmm.
And it's the music that I liked when I was 16 is just a lot different than what I like now. This fits into what I like now a lot more. And
Hmm.
so now it's like, oh, this album rocks. Like this is a kick-ass album. I
Is
love it.
is
And it's
any of
like
that is any of it nostalgia? Like a little sense of like, yeah, that.
I honestly think it's not. And now that being said, your point about knowing the songs is helpful
Yeah.
because like I already know the songs,
Yeah, yeah.
but I feel like I hear them a little differently now than I used to and
Sure.
have appreciated them more now. There's some of them there I'm like I know I did not like that song when I was 16 years old and I think
Yeah.
it's brilliant now. Which is like this is a fun thing about music is like and I
Yeah.
think sort of the point of these conversations is like you change. The album comes out and it's the
That's
album
true. It's still the
forever.
same. Like it's still the same
Yeah, and
music.
then you change. And it's like it's kind of neat to hear things differently over time. Um but I mean yeah, that was so there's a lot of reasons I chose it, but I think like Karma Police and my history with that song and the way that I feel about this album now is like the reason that it was like not, the ones like yeah, there will probably be other Radiohead albums in the future, the ones that I like love more in my soul, but um those are more like that would be a nostalgia project, right? That would be
Mm.
like I don't even know if I like this that much. It's just like it meant so much to me at one point, This is not that. Um
When in going back did this start to feel different? Like was it
um
years ago that you listened to it again and you're like, oh wow, or is it like 6
Yeah,
months?
about.
Yeah, 2 years.
Yeah, about roughly. Um, and then yeah, just like doing this, like really digging into it for this, I was like, oh yeah, like all of that got kind of
Solidified.
solidified for me. Like, yeah. So,
All right, well, let's start talking tracks then.
can we? I want to ask you a question before
Please.
we do. You're a lyrical guy.
Yeah,
Um, your type of music tends to be a little more
sure.
narrative driven,
Yeah,
vocal is important. What
right.
do you think about the vocal performances and the lyrics of this?
I like couldn't pull out any lyrics right now. You know, like that, right? Like it, I think this, you've often talked about how I don't know if it's that you like music or you gravitate towards, I don't, that might not be what it was, but like you've talked about when voice is an instrument and you're like, to me, this is very much that. Like it's less this telling a story, it's less like, hey, I'm singing and this other stuff is around it. Like it all feels like they're, like vocals, bass, guitar, drum, like they're all just threads that are just going through this thing that like it's an amalgam of stuff. Um,
Do you think,
yeah.
if somebody pressed you, if I'm pressing you right now and I said, like, what's the narrative of this album? What is it about? What are you saying?
What is it about? Okay, let me look at the track listing, like just to like refresh my memory. So cinematic came up a lot. Like, what is it about? I mean, I think your comments are definitely influencing how I'm thinking right now, because I
It's
think
okay.
that makes sense. Like now that I kind of look at it, that you're like, there is this just questioning. I don't know if it's a word. I think angst might be the best thing that I've got. Like there is this sense of that. But I really think I got nothing. Like
Well,
it's
that's
not about
okay.
relationships. It's not about like your childhood or anything like that. So maybe like I think it feels as though, and I don't know what this is, but it feels as though it's a representation of the time. Like in the same ways that you were just talking about Geese, like last episode or two,
Sure.
where you're like, oh, they're making music like about now, and like that's them. You can look at now I get with Radiohead, you're like, oh, okay, they were then rock. It makes sense. Maybe that's what I would get.
There's so much to unpack there. Like, A, totally reasonable that there's not a good answer to that because it only occurred to me like because this like songs from this album, Radiohead, all this stuff is like the water that I swim in. It's just like this is music I like, and
Yeah.
I never think about it that hard. But like again, for this, I was really thinking about this, and it just the more you read about it, you're like I read like just some like production notes and interviews, and it's just like these lyrics don't have any meaning. They're completely abstract lyrics. It was literally Tom York just going in. Like most of these
Really?
lyrics were written on the first take of the song.
That's wild.
Um,
No,
and he
it
was
makes
just
sense.
like, I didn't want it to feel like I felt like I was going to overthink it if I did it too many times, is what he said.
That's so funny. I guess it kind of reminds me, did you ever watch that Beatles documentary where it is just like them in the studio, like making, I don't know if it's Let It
Did
Be.
that come out recently?
What was it? Like within the past 3 to 4 years, I would say.
I feel like I recall people talking about this, but I never watched it.
And it was really fascinating, but I had never thought about this with, yeah, I guess it's funny because like maybe so much of my music taste and thoughts come from Elton John because it was like Bernie Taupin would write a song and then give it to Elton John and he would make music. So that's kind of just how maybe I've conceptualized it. Anywho, you watch this Beatles thing and they're making the music and then they're just like saying words and shit just to fill it. And it's so confusing to me or not confusing, but just jarring to hear the music I know with just random words. You're like, whoa, what's happening? Like you just made these up, you mean? Like, but that fits here, right? Like it is just
It's an
they were
instrument.
they were making music and felt the need to sing. I don't know. Like
Yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah.
kind of what it feels like. You could
But that's not to say that I don't think the lyrics do add something.
sure,
And
sure, sure.
but it's just there's no narrative. It's not like this is the
Right, there's no
story. There's no
story.
story.
Yeah, there's no like, okay, cool, like you got
Yeah,
into this relationship or
yeah.
she cheated
Which
on you or he or whatever. Like,
I think I've expressed this before. Like I think the reason I like that, and those like I don't seek out narrative driven songs typically, is because then you can listen to these songs, and at different moments of your life they can mean different things because the lyrics are not a story. They're just like moments, you know. So I honestly think that's what I like about it. Uh, but I do want to just before we get into the tracks, read the like literally the second paragraph of Wikipedia and
so
just remind you that this album came out in 1997 and the things they were concerned with, they were concerned about in 1997.
oh, that's really fun. Okay.
The lyrics depict a dystopian world fraught with rampant consumerism, social alienation, technological anxiety, and political corruption, while also exploring themes of transport, conformity, paranoia, death, modern British life, and globalization. In this capacity, OK Computer is said to have prescient insight into the mood of the 21st century lifestyle.
Hmm.
The
That's pretty
mood.
good.
I was like, you couldn't write that any better. You know
No,
what I
you
mean?
couldn't like.
And also,
And on today of all days that we're doing this podcast, like,
could you write this in 2026 and it would mean the same exact thing? Yes.
right? The whole time you were saying these words, I was like, yeah, yeah, that's. I think we're going over
That's
this.
today. Yeah.
That's today. No, that
So
is
that's
kind of
just
funny, right? Because
crazy. Like,
like the the technology one could be the easy one where you're like, well, no, that's got to be different. But no, no, we're just on the edge of a new technology. Like it's
yeah,
back then it was the internet.
the
Now it's
internet
AI, right? Like we've subverted it for a different thing. That's cool.
and political corruption is always present, apparently, and paranoia about the future. Like, it's just like that's
Yeah, they're
life, you
right.
know?
Yeah, especially or like the
Modern life,
modern
anyway.
life. Yeah, the modern
Yeah.
life that we now have these things. Yeah.
So I don't know. I was like, that kind of kicks ass.
Thanks, Wikipedia.
Yeah. Thanks, Wikipedia. All right, you want to bring up Spotify and talk through
Let's look at
the
this.
and do the track by track because it's gripping content uh to look at this list
To
of
share
songs.
this list. All right, but let me pull up my notes.
I'm so excited about these notes.
All right, so track
Can you
one.
do me the what I did for you or did with the last album of bad, okay, good, great?
Yeah, I was thinking that. I wish I had done more prep on that, but I'll try to remember as best I can.
We can be
Um,
spontaneous.
okay. So notes are like gets going, like nothing jumps out at me, but the song moves. And I think immediately kind of like with that mood piece of the feeling, like I think, I think the second time I listened to it, I was
You're
driving.
talking about Airbag, right?
Yeah, sorry, just like the
Okay.
first song, like putting it on. I think this was the second time I was driving to Hershey. And I thought like how is it that you can so immediately tell that this is well conceptualized like art? Like it's not just made. Like you can just, I don't know, there's something that evokes in it, and it could just be all the underlying, I know that Radiohead is a great band, but even just listening to the beginning, you're like, okay, like this was intentional and thoughtful, and they're just making art as opposed to, okay, this opens up an album. Like I think it immediately put me in that. So I think overall, if I were to go back, like my thoughts would then be maybe this is a good one. Like this is good.
It's a good song.
Good song. It's a good song.
I want to say a little bit more.
Yeah. No, you gotta add. You got all the things.
I think it might be one of the best album openers of all time.
Oh my God. Well, okay, but to be fair, like for someone listening to this, so let me preface a little bit. I think the only songs I have ever heard before would be Karma Police
Cool.
and No Surprises.
Can't wait to talk about that.
So to even think that the first and second time I've listened to this, that I'm already just like having these thoughts, like you're right. Like they could just be
It's impressive. It
right.
is. Yeah. To be like, this is high art. That's pretty cool.
It did kind of feel like that. And I was really confused. And I think the first song going like you're right, because I think if the second song had been so much different, I would have been like, oh, okay. but like it stays. So you're like, oh yeah, this is art. Like it at least hooked me that long that I'm
Yeah.
in for it. Anyhow.
Like you said before, they didn't just make three songs and then decide, well,
Yeah.
we got to fill it up. Like they were like, these are like consistently
Yeah.
like
Yeah, there's just thought put
effort.
into it.
Yeah,
There's just
like
consistent
consistent
effort.
effort. Um, I think the song is in my top 10 Radiohead songs, period.
Wow. Okay.
It's incredible. I tried to learn to play the bass because of this song.
Oh, that's really cool.
I think it's literally one of the best bass lines I've ever heard in my life. It is like, if you listen to this again, this is what I will tell you to do.
Here, let me take these notes actually, because I should do this. Okay.
When you're listening to Airbag, pay attention to the spaces between the notes that the bass plays and the spaces between drum drum beats, basically, because that is like the backbone of this song. Is like there are just like pauses and it's like so like I like you couldn't play. I feel like it's not possible that they played this song the same way twice. Like the timing is
Hmm.
insane. It's insane. And it's just like those spaces are actually you're like anticipating those spaces more than you are the notes. Like that's how
Hmm.
good it is. And I just like that's to me why it feels like art because it's like somebody really spent a lot of time writing this music.
Hmm.
You know?
Do you know their
Uh
writing process at all? Like, is it very much like someone has a riff, they're like, oh, I want to play this, and then everyone kind of, do you know anything?
I really don't.
Okay.
And I know they have a pretty good documentary that might be worth checking out. Um that was made a long time ago
Okay.
that
I could look into
you
that.
know, might be a little bit like that Beatles thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Um, and just like it's a buildy song. It builds and builds and builds, and it has
Right. I
like a
did. It
killer ending.
moves. It
It
moves.
moves like I don't know. It's just like God. I consider it a legendary song.
I built,
It's
you
so
know,
good.
I got it. Good for you.
Now, lyrically, not one of the strongest on this album.
Well,
I
to be fair, like the lyrics are 5% of this album, so it's not like
correct.
it's not a big
But
point.
as far as like moments where you're like, I'm going to sing that line again in my head,
Oh, I see.
there's not a lot here. Um, yeah.
Okay.
So that's Airbag. Love that song. Fewest plays, right? Is it the fewest? Oh no, there's
No,
one
there's
that's
more
less.
ones. How?
Okay, never
Well,
mind.
yeah, this one obviously, like fucking.
Everyone's skipping
No,
that.
everyone's skipping that. Um, but electioneering, which we'll talk about later. Okay. So yeah, one of the high. So that is interesting to kind of just look at it. No surprise, this is that much higher than Karma Police. I'm really kind of surprised by that. Okay.
Also, these numbers in general are big. Like this is a
They
very
are like that was
confusing.
the thought too while I was listening to this. I was like, oh, we're not talking like 30,000. Like it's
This is
still
not an indie album.
billions.
Yeah, this is not.
Like 1.2 billion listens. It's wild.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah,
then we get into Paranoid Android. I like this. My notes are, I really like it. It's worth the payoff of the riff. And I'm like, you're just like, oh yeah, like this is rock music. You're like, okay, like this is what I'm listening to. But yeah, I think there's so much when I put it on like an hour ago, there's just tension. Like you're just waiting for that riff to drop and you're like, okay, like this was now worth it. Like that was fun. I'm
yeah.
glad I listened to this song.
There is like a rip moment, like 2 minutes in, where you're like, oh, they're shredding now. Yeah.
Yeah. It is a little long,
It
but
is. It
but like
is.
when you hit that like first riff, like no, I remember like I think the first time I was like, oh, like this is just yeah, like this is music, you
We're
know?
like, we're on a ride. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, okay. There's this really cool, I don't know if you caught it. I'm sure you must have heard. Like there's like this like robot voice in the background saying paranoid
Oh no,
android.
like what is he
No?
saying?
Oh, I love that. He says paranoid android. And so it just sounds like an android is in the background of this
Okay,
song singing. But like, Microsoft Sam.
that's really funny.
Uh, which is just like a cool little touch that again, like even though I don't know if like this song is actually about androids, it's not. We know there's no narrative thing. Like it just puts you in the mood of like now we're worried about machine life. You know what I mean? Like that's what this is
Yeah,
about now. Um, and they do that without the lyrics, right? Like that's what I think is kind of cool. And
it's a
which I
good
think
song.
there is one really good lyric that I do sing sometime in my head,
Hmm.
which is when I am king, you will be first against the wall, against the wall. I think that goes pretty hard.
Punk rock.
So
Hmm.
pretty punk rock.
I think if I were gonna put, I got to give at least a legendary away. I think I'd probably give this one the
I
legendary.
love that for you. Love that. I didn't give this one legendary. I think it's great, but
Yeah, I would. I'm like I'm on borderline, but I like I don't want to
if you
give
had
it to
to,
Karma Police or No Surprises because you're like, oh yeah, I've heard those songs before, and like they're it, No Surprises at least is like poppier in a way for some reason. Maybe just because that it's got a good hook, but
I
Paranoid Android is great.
I gave away two other legendaries
I
besides
mean, it makes
Scatterback.
sense for you. I think like go for it.
I'm going to ask you to anticipate what they are when we get there. But next
It'll be
up,
tough. Probably
track three.
Fitter Happier. Track
Stop.
3. I like the feel of this one. It keeps me in. Cinematic comes up here. Um, and that was kind of like one of the first pieces where it hits more this like, okay, this just kind of feels cinematic overall. But nothing.
What does that mean, cinematic? Like we talked about this a little bit
Yeah,
with
okay.
three.
Right. With I.
With sorry, yeah.
Maybe it is that kind of counteracting to at least in this case. So I like maybe 3 feels more cinematic in its narrative arc. Like it's clearly about a thing.
Mhm.
This is more cinematic in it sound like I think I say it towards the end of the album, like you when I finish it, you feel as though you just digested a piece of art slash watched a thing. Like you
Mm.
went through like you said, okay, I like this artist, Tom York and Radiohead. I'm gonna buy into this for X amount of time. Like
And that is a cinematic experience. Okay.
in this context, yeah, where you're just like, okay, like because maybe I just assume like timeline wise, like in my head when it's an hour to an hour and a half. Oh, cool. I'm sitting down to kind of watch a movie and be in this new world. Maybe that's what it is. Like they have put me into this world for this amount of time. And
That's a
then
really, I
like
mean,
when it,
this is why this is so much fun. Just like I've never considered that.
but that's what it feels like, right? Like in the beginning, they've told me what this world is going to be, and I was then in it for the next hour. And then it ends, you're like, okay, it's now over. And I was in.
Now in a different world. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyhow. So I think
That's
that's what
I
to me.
that's kind of cool, man. Like even if you got to the end of this and you were like, it's a 4 out of 10, I'd be like, that's still cool.
No, it is. Like, and I think that's where the like art piece comes through that yeah, they're making art like they believed in all of it and made this stuff as opposed to, oh, this will make us money or this or whatever. And like,
Yeah.
yeah, sure, maybe I'm projecting on to like what music is now or how I look at it now, but I don't know. Yeah, that's just
You know
the
what's really fun about this is that 29 years after the release of this album, Kevin Hunter has decided this is art.
this is good. You guys should see.
You are the 9 billionth person to go. I think this is a pretty good album.
Yeah.
This might be a masterpiece, Kev.
It could be. You get like if I were in 97, I'd sign them, like put them on the label.
What about the, yeah? They might be somebody, you know. We'll see what they do with the rest of
It
their
turned out
career.
to be something. All right, so what are your thoughts on
Subterranean Homesick
Subterranean
Alien.
Homesick Alien?
I think I like this song as much, if not more, than Paranoid Android. Um, Even though I think that's a hot take among Radiohead fans. Because you gave Paranoid Android the one legendary possibly. And I think Radiohead fans would agree that like that's like one of the best songs that
Hmm.
they've ever written. Um, and I understand why, but I really love Subterranean Homesick Alien as well. I
I think
think
it's
it's my
like where
favorite
I
lyrical
felt like a
moment.
dip back. I was like, okay, we're in this, and then it kind of just like just a little bit. It's
Well,
settled.
so I would say it settle. It does settle because it has like a kind of a psychedelic mood. I think. What did you say? You used a different word, but it's like it's almost a little floaty. Um, the way that this song like starts, and you kind of feel like you're
Hmm.
just sort of like I don't know, floating.
Yeah,
It's like a
yeah, yeah.
lazy river song almost.
Right. Like
Um,
they've gotten you to this point. Now we're just gonna kind of hold you here. Yeah.
yeah, I agree with that. But I think there's like funnily enough, I think that there's some of the better lyrics on this album
Hmm.
and like
Okay.
stuff that gets in your head. And I just love screaming uptight, uptight, uptight over and over again. That's like the best lyric
Okay.
ever.
Yeah, okay.
Uptime. Um, but yeah,
So where
I
are you at? Good?
I would say this is great.
Great. Okay, wow.
Also,
So what's your what's below good?
um, well, so it's below good is okay. So it's
Okay.
bad, okay, good, great,
Okay.
legendary.
So I'm assuming there's one bad on this album. Everything else is above good. Like
I
good.
may have copped out a little bit. We'll see.
Oh, get
Um,
out of here. Okay.
we'll talk about it. A quick note. Well, actually, let's do it after this song, track four,
Exit
exit
music
music for a
for a
film.
film.
Speaking of cinematic,
No, I did think that. Like I'm wondering if you know any context of that title.
do
Um,
you want to take any guesses first?
is it real? Like, but I'm like, what film are they making this for? Like, and it's confusing.
But do
It's
you think
track
that it's
four,
not for a movie?
not 12. Like, I don't know.
Uh,
But my notes are, I would listen, but I don't think I would seek it out, you know?
okay,
Like
that's
it's
the
part of
whole
the
note.
deal. It's part of what I've locked into for this album, but like I'm not gonna, and I think this is the case with most of these songs. I wouldn't go back to be like, oh, let me go listen to that one, you know?
Hmm. Yeah, and I actually kind of agree with you even as a fan, whereas like I think you just got to listen to the whole thing. Uh
100%. Like you don't feel as though you can skip stuff on this. There is some
yeah.
kind of sanctity that's lost, and you're like, oh, let me just skip through.
Strangely, I think the first two tracks would be the ones that like if you were gonna play like one or two, you might just play those two and
Yeah,
then be
yeah,
like,
yeah.
that's
Yeah,
it.
I can see that.
Um, I agree with you pretty wholeheartedly there. It is for a film. You're not gonna guess what the film is. It's so lame. It was written for the end credits of Romeo plus Juliet, released in
The
1996.
Leonardo DiCaprio and
Is that one? I don't know. I never saw that movie.
that's a good question. I'll have to look into that.
96 Romeo plus Juliet. Let's look.
Rocco, it's Romeo and Juliet. Like what?
Yeah, I know.
Like
But no, no, no. It's stylized with a plus sign.
no, I get that part, but like it's
I
and.
think that matters. You would have written and, or at least use an ampersand
This is
if
just
you,
like you with Spotify being like the hearted songs, not the like songs.
Kevin. They were made this movie in 1996 and they thought the
Oh
plus
my
sign was the
God.
coolest thing ever. And they were like, this is how people are going to say and in the future. I promise you that was in the back of their head. I
Wait, no, maybe that's
promise.
not the Leonardo DiCaprio one
It
because
is. It
is
is.
it? Okay, because wasn't Titanic was 97. He did both of those movies in 97. Good for him.
This is 96.
Oh, I didn't even realize that was before Titanic. I mean, that's I thought he got famous from Titanic, so okay. I'm interested.
Listen, we were babies when this came out,
That's true.
so we can be excused for not knowing. But yeah, that's kind of lame, I thought.
Oh, I didn't know that. I
I
am
think it's a good song.
a fun
I
little
agree.
thing is that two of the same times for a song. I don't know. That's
Oh,
just
you
like
don't
a
see that a
fun,
lot.
right? Like there's a lot of a lot of sevens there for
A
a
lot of
bit.
sevens.
Anyhow, like it's probably all made up, but I noticed it.
I think you could do a study on this.
Like they're lengthier. They got like this is not a short album. This is not a quick album.
It's not.
It's
No, I do think you can rip through it. I mean, it's under an hour, right?
not. Yeah,
Yeah.
53
Yeah.
minutes.
It's not that
No, it's not.
bad.
Okay.
All right.
Let down. What have
Exit
I got for
music.
let down?
The one thing I will say about before we move on with exit
Oh,
music
I'd give it
is,
an okay, by the way.
yeah, I went good. It's not great. Mostly because the first 3 minutes are just like slow, but it does build and then it
Yeah.
releases, and I do like
Okay.
that.
Okay.
Um,
What was the one thing you were gonna say?
the one thing I was going to say is this is like, I think this is where it gets pretty electronic, and you can start to hear like tones
Hmm.
that you hear later in their later work.
Yeah,
Like
let
this
me
is where it's like, oh, this is like later Radiohead. You know what I mean? Like they show where they're going a little bit here in a way that you wouldn't know if you were listening to this in 1997.
okay.
Um, Letdown, number five.
Number five. Almost feels oh yes, this is when I say like almost feels out of their vibe. Is it too choral? Those are the notes I have for this.
Like World.
Like chorus or core. I don't know. I have to like re-listen to it, which I can't do it right now, but those are my thoughts. It's like I can't even pull it to mind, like what this song was.
I think it's lighter because I wrote much lighter guitar tones. Gives a sense of bells ringing and notes almost like buttons being pressed on a phone. So there's like this like airy feel to it a little bit. And I
Mhm.
think Tom York has a higher register when he sings. Um, I think it's also, is it one of the more highly listened to ones?
It is up there, yeah.
Highly played? I would think this is among their more popular songs.
Really? Yeah, that's number three of the songs.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I think it's just good. I don't love it. I actually think I used to like it less. And then this exercise made me like it a little bit more because I
Mm.
was like, I was really listening for things, and there's like a lot of stuff happening in the background of this song that, like, if you're really paying attention, you're like, oh, that's cool. Um, but you're right. I don't think there's not one moment on this where you're like, oh, this kicks ass, or
Mm-hmm,
like,
hmm.
yeah, it doesn't take over at any point. So at this point, we've dipped a little bit in the
Yeah,
album.
yeah, yeah, I agree. But then
But then, track six,
we get to Karma Police.
what do you
Um,
think?
I mean, it's a good song. I know this from high school. I think a big part of the reason I like it is that it's been familiar to me for over 10 years. Like it's good. I like the piano a lot. Like, I'm a piano guy. Like
Hmm.
it's a complex, good song. It just is.
It's also pretty quick and kind of poppy, right?
It's quick. I don't know, even a 424, like that's not a quick song,
I
but
mean, among what we have here, right?
you're right. You're right. But
Um,
it's the most what's the other word? Like mainstream, I could say. Like it does, right, because pop doesn't make sense for them, but like a
I,
mainstream
I
song.
I would say like the second most mainstream on this, but it makes sense that it was one of them that like I would have stumbled upon on like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I guess it wasn't VH1, but like YouTube music videos or whatever, right? Because it is really like verse chorus verse chorus verse chorus. There is lyrically actually like a little bit of it's not really a story, but like you can follow it a little better
Yeah,
than the rest of this
I
album.
believe that. Yeah.
Um, and then I don't know, it just has like yeah, the piano, the keys, like the I don't know, there's like this dark, like haunting
It's definitely dark.
shit going on,
Oh
and it's
yeah, it's
just
like
and my favorite thing.
like there's just like that.
Yeah, what would you call that noise? That like drone noise. I was trying to
Wah,
figure out
wah,
like
wah,
what
wah,
is
wah, and then
that?
it ends with like wah, wah, wah,
Which is
wah.
genuinely one of my favorite endings to a song. I love the like alarm sound of like, and then it's just like
This felt very like this could be projection, of course, obviously, but like this one at least felt the most like, oh, cool, like someone wrote this about a breakup or something. Like it
it could
had
be.
right, like it had a you can imagine it being it about. You can
I
imagine
like that
it
you said,
being
"Oh,
about
cool."
something. Like finally, like there's humans here. Like it's not just these
There,
ghosts that we're talking about.
that's a good point. That's a good point. There's a human at the center of this song.
Yeah, yeah, maybe that's a good way to put it.
Because there's the refrain, the thing that gets repeated over and over again, that sort of to me feels like spiraling down the drain with that weird drone sound, where he goes, "For a minute there, I lost myself," and I sing that over to myself all the time. Love that lyric.
That's fun.
Amazing way to end a song.
Yeah,
It's
it's
my
just a good. It's good.
it's a good bop. It's
Um,
one of my two other legendaries.
yeah, that makes sense. It's a great song.
Yeah.
Great song.
All right, let's get into it. Track seven.
I what did I write down? What did I put?
Bitter happier.
Um, I said, okay, guys, what's the deal with the art? Like like these things just take me out of it so much. Or I
This
guess
is
it doesn't take you out necessarily, but I'm just like, what am I listening to? Like,
this this could be the whole discussion. Is like, why is this here? Right? And
I that's a
like,
good point.
what is it adding? First of all, what is it adding? But then I really like bigger picture. Like, why do we have these weird interludes in
Yeah.
songs? Do you realize
Well,
we're
is it?
3 for 3 on albums with interludes now?
Oh yeah, that's pretty funny.
And I thought about it, and I was just like, why? What compels you to go like, listen, we've been slaying for 7 songs here. People are in. They are like, they're invested. It's cool. Let's do Microsoft Sam voice over like absolute TV static noise
Yeah, you're like, what am
for
I
two
listening
minutes.
to? Actually, today I was like sitting at my computer, it was still on, and the way it's produced, I really thought like in the so I guess deep in the background is a conversation that I stopped the music twice to be like, is someone outside my door talking? Like, because
Oh,
it
interesting.
sounded as though it
Yeah.
was far enough away in real life.
So it not only was this like, did it pull you out of the experience, but it actually was like actively negative. Like it was like kind of scary.
It's just ridiculous.
So what did you rate it?
Oh, like I didn't even, it's just not good. Whatever. It's a bad. No, it's not a bad song because it's not even a song.
It's
It's
not a
like,
song.
it's not a song. It's just there. And you're like, okay,
You're
you've,
so tired of
you've
this.
earned 1 minute and 57 seconds of my like, fine. Like,
I feel like you've been
sure.
mad about this for 45 days. The way that
I
you're
think I
explaining this.
was. I think the first time it went through, like maybe I just didn't think it was that long. Like if it was 45 seconds, you're like, fine, whatever.
It's two
And then
minutes.
the next few times you listen to it, you're like, "Ugh, I can't skip it. Gotta listen
What
to
do
it."
they what do they
I
think?
don't know.
So
But that
you
is a
talk
thing. Like it does feel as though there are, like I've kind of noticed over time that there are these types of structures with albums of, you have this kind of opener. To me, a lot of times I find that track three is often like a banger. You like track seven ends up being a thing. Like there's these kind of like vague.
gotta hit some beats.
Right, like of an album, which makes sense, right? You're going to have this roller coastery thing.
Sure.
So is it, yeah, that after these 6 tracks, they felt like they were going into something different, so they had to have some sort of break? I don't know, like a palate cleanser? I don't know. You would know better than I would with this.
I really wonder like what the I can't I can't figure out why you would do this because for me, a little sneak peek into my other legendary, it breaks up a run of legendary, great legendary songs. Like this is the
Mm.
best part of the album that they threw this in the middle of. And it's just like, what did that do? Like it pulled me
Yeah.
out of it. And I guess if you like really take it seriously, maybe it adds to the mood, to the themes, to the like we keep calling this thing art. Like it adds to the art of it,
Yeah, it
right?
makes this like, yeah. Art that I don't get, which I just like I have a hard time with, but that's fine. That's
But
just
it is like it does kill the listening experience. You're
yeah.
just like, bro, like if
All right, let's move
uh I don't get it. It's an L for me. I didn't rate it, but it
on.
could be bad. Electioneering, number 8. We're getting
Cowboy
there.
song.
We're getting
This is
there.
my
Oh,
cowboy
you
song.
did it. You did it.
This is the cowboy song.
I was gonna say, is this the one? That's the one I said. My first thing I wrote about is this is the cowboy song.
But I thought you
Why?
said
Tell me
you
why.
couldn't find it.
Initially, I couldn't, and then I heard it, and I was
Well,
like,
because
this
there's
is the
fucking
one.
cowbell in it, I think, isn't there? Like, it just
There is.
is. Like,
You're right. There is a cowbell
it's
in it,
funny
like pretty
because I think
prominently.
the first time it came on, I think I was about to like shower in the morning. I put it on in the background, and I was like, "Pff, I got it. Like, I found it. And then the second or third time I heard it, I was like, oh no, like what if I was wrong? And then like I kept getting reminded, like, no, 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 this is the cowbell song.
There's literally a cowbell like
Yeah, there's the cowbell. Like it feels lighter and like more haphazard in a different way. Like
it
it's less
has
rocky.
the opening kind of has like a Western
Yeah,
movies
it just
vibe
does.
to it.
I agree. I
Uh,
think it does.
why does every so again 3 for 3? Maybe we're making this a thing, but why does every song have a cowboy
Well, that
song?
was your no, no, no. We're
Our
not.
album.
You made it a thing. I'd never thought
I'm
of it
gonna find it
in
on
my
the
entire
next one.
life.
Don't you worry.
I believe you.
Um,
It's a fun
thoughts
song.
on
It's a fun song.
yeah, fun
That's what
song.
I kind of put for it. Cowboy song, fun.
Okay, I think this rips more than anything they've ever made.
Hmm.
Like
Whoa.
this is like not really a this is like not a Radiohead song. This is like
Yeah, it did. I
shredded.
agree. Like it felt. I put that other song as like not their vibe, but like now thinking back what I remember for the song, you're right that it feels less their vibe.
Yeah. It's a lot like, I don't know if you've ever listened to The Bends, which is the album that precedes this.
Mm-mm.
This could have come from The Bends. This is like
Mm.
every song on The Bends, which for a minute was their sound, and they pivoted away from it with this album and never came back to it. But I love it. I think it's like it's a great rock song. It's a great rock song. So
It's
that's what I have
good.
to say about it.
It's good.
Number nine, Climbing Up the Walls.
I think this is where I start to lose my initial interest. Like I think this is where the like it feels longer. Like I think if I were to listen to this album, I'm like
Hmm.
in it. I'm like, cool, cool, cool. I get you. I get you. Fitter, happier starts to take you out of it. But then like climbing up the walls, you're like, okay. I think maybe actually this is a better sense that this is where I start to see that overall we're not necessarily going anywhere. We're just continuing with the stuff.
We got to dig into this
I don't
because
know.
this is what you determined about songs that you like.
Oh, but I think it can translate. Like, I think it does zoom out. You can actually go one layer farther out, which is like
And
as an
sure,
album, like you feel as though, oh, okay, like I'm listening to this opener, and then I'm gonna end up somewhere 7 songs later.
but what does it mean? I kind of understand what it means for a
I don't
song to
know.
go somewhere because it needs to build to some sort of climax where you get a release and you go like, wow, like they resolved
Sure.
the thing. How does an album do
I guess
that?
probably mostly a dynamicism to it, like a dynamism, whatever the word would actually be.
If
That
it was a word.
what's the word? That there are some like ups and downs to it. Like I think this is where I can start to sense, oh, it is very much just like in this vibe of life, and that's it. Like it's just all different representations of the same kind of idea. Like it feels a little monotonous.
Almost like like, hey, we're in a concept album and it really is just the one concept.
Yeah, maybe that. Right. Yeah, yeah. Like
Yeah.
the kind of opposite counterpoint would be like love the first Olivia Rodrigo album, and then you get to the second one, you're like, okay, it's the same kind of things are going on here. Like I get it.
Oh,
I get it. Like that kind of idea.
yeah. You're getting tired of it.
Yeah, I think that's what like I feel like a little bit like, okay, like sure, I'm not
That's fair.
yeah, that's where I'm at.
I'm gonna I'm gonna tell you this now. After this song is when I'm tired of it.
Oh, see, like it actually comes back up for me later.
Interesting. Love that because it doesn't for me. Um,
So what do
Climbing
you
Up the
like?
Walls is the third
That's your
legendary
legendary.
song. I fucking love this song.
I don't even
Uh,
remember it.
oh, it's so good. You have to listen to it
All
again. It
right,
is
so
such
this
a
is
dark, like haunting song. And then it literally ends. There's no better builder. Honestly, there's no better builder in their whole discography. It just builds and builds and builds. And then right at the end, it just like falls the fuck apart, which I love when songs just fall apart. And it literally, you will hear him just go, wah, at the end of this song where he just like is singing and singing and singing, and then he's just yelling.
okay.
Um, oh, it's the best. I don't even really know how else to talk about it other than like it so much coalesces in this song from earlier in the album, from like what I know about them as a band, and then it just like breaks
Hmm.
at some point, which I
That's
love.
cool.
I'm gonna have to listen to it again, Kev.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna like the legendaries. I think I need to do a better job of re-listening to the album. I will say, "Floating in the Firth" has like popped up a few times like
Let's
since, and
go.
it's a good one. It's good.
It's a great song.
It's a great
Beautiful
song.
song.
Um,
Great callback.
all right, climbing up the walls, legendary.
Legendary.
Not no surprise. Are you just like you feel like a true fan? You're like, no surprises isn't that good, even though it's a good song.
Do you really want me to start?
Let me just say,
Are you gonna
this
do
is
that to
actually, I
me?
think my longest note here is I just like it. The opening hooks you. Um, oh, and then I said, like, I think I've been talking about this with someone recently too. Like, I think any sort of hook, there's to me how, and I think I define hook in very many different ways, but like something that I feel as though I can kind of go back to and be like, oh, that little just bit that's there. Um, but I really like the hook of the melody with this. Um, So, and I had said too, like this is one I knew from life. I never like knew it. Like I don't like I never could have told you the title, any of it. Like
But
I
you've
just
heard
feel
it.
like you come across it in life somehow.
I mean, look at those play
Right.
count
It's
over a
up to
billion.
it's 1.2 billion plays. Um hmm. And yeah, it just kind of stood out and familiar. So I think that's an influence, but I just like it.
This is, I think, what's interesting about this project. Uh, it's my least favorite song
Wow.
on the album.
Least
I didn't
favorite?
say it was
Well,
bad. I think it's
besides Fitter
okay.
Happier, like least
Yeah, but it's not a song, so
favorite
we can't count it. Yeah, it's my least favorite one. I don't think it's bad. I don't think there is a bad song on this album, if you're
Right.
not counting
I
Fitter
I get
Happier.
that. Yeah, yeah.
Um, but I just don't get it. And I think my note on it was this sounds like a fairy tale to me. It's kind of like a
Yeah.
children's song.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Like
I think
it's
especially if
pretty.
you're in this world of like adult Radiohead life and you get this kind of fairy dust,
Yes,
like this
that's
is
what it feels like to me. Yeah.
mm,
You're like, and then also it's short-ish. It's the song structure is nothing special. Like it is just like it could be a pop song as far as how it plays out. So it's just like it makes sense that this is the billion stream song because
yeah.
it's
No,
like
I get
this
it.
is the one that's the most accessible. But it's just like I don't think it's not bad. It's just like uninteresting to me.
Yeah.
And it's funny that you like it so much because I just think it goes absolutely nowhere. Like it really goes nowhere. Um, so I don't know. That's
But I think it really is just that like opening riff hooky melody that I'm like, okay, cool. Like I can come
it's
back to
sweet.
this and yeah, it's sweet. Just you're like, oh, this
Yeah,
is fun. A little
it's a sweet
comforting.
song.
It's a
I
comforting little
think
thing.
people who have good taste in music will like this song a lot. I am not that person. So that's fair.
Um,
Uh, a good lyric in it though. Bring down the government. They don't speak for us. Just saying. Great lyric. Great lyric.
then we get to Lucky. So this is actually fun. I'm glad I listened to it again recently. Um, Original note was gets back to cinema for me. Like it kind of just feels like it's back to that same ideas that Climbing Up the Wall was getting at. Like I'm right. It kind of makes sense. No surprises. This is a little bit of a break. And now
Mhm.
Lucky's back to like, okay, cool. We've now hit this feel again. And then
It's like a lower register, just like climbing up the walls is. It has that same mood,
yeah.
I
But
think.
then recently, like it just came on again, and I was like, wait, what is this song like ripping right now? And it was this song. So I there's
It's
some good rips to it, I think.
another great builder as well. Like
I will go back to this song, I think. Like,
love that.
yeah.
It's great. This is a great song. I think it has like banger moments in it, and
Yeah.
it's another building. It's going
Yeah.
somewhere. Like
Yeah.
this song builds
I think that's
and
what it did for me.
it comes together. Like it really
Right.
comes together. And the vocal performance is really good on this one too. Like
Okay.
his voice is good on Lucky. Um, first song written on the album. First one.
Oh, that's interesting.
Number 11 on the track list. Go figure.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's a whole other conversation is how do they figure that stuff out?
I love like trying to put together playlists for that reason is like how do we sequence this so that it
Yeah.
feels like it flows. That's kind of cool to me.
Yeah.
But like everybody thinks they're a DJ, so whatever. Um, wrapping up here. The
Still cinema.
twist.
It makes you, it really does, like I kind of said earlier, like I think this, it makes you feel as though, oh, cool, I just watched and listened to this movie. Like it's now over.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I don't have a lot to add here. I don't love this song.
Hmm.
It's a little long. It's like I actually think we probably could have just ended it with Lucky, honestly. But it's fine.
See, and that makes you wonder, like, what was their process? They're just like, no, 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 we gotta have this other song. You know, like it's so interesting to think about.
Yep. And what got cut? I mean,
Oh, that's a
sometimes you
good
find
point.
out what gets cut because it comes out in like B-sides and stuff, but and they have a lot of B-side material,
Oh, do they?
so
Okay.
they do. It would be interesting to for you to look through like a B-side album of this and be like, why didn't they put that on in place of Fitter Happier? Uh, they didn't though. They didn't make that choice. So I don't know. That's it.
Yeah. So overall, I mean, it's art. You definitely see it. I see
It's
it.
art out of 10.
It is. I see it very much as a package. Like I said, like I can imagine buying this album and like, okay, like I'm gonna put this on in the background. It's winter. Throw it on. Live life.
So what are the ones that you would what do you're saying you're not gonna like seek out anything, but if one of these was saved to your hearted list and it came back up, which one of these would you not skip?
Oh, I think Paranoid Android, Karma Police you'd listen to just because it's familiar. Lucky, No Surprises. Uh,
Okay. I like that
Elect
list.
no,
Let's
it's
get
not.
some hearts on this, Kev.
But
I
I
guess
don't
it's
do
not the
that. Like I
heartbeat.
don't I don't I don't live my hearted life like that.
What does that mean? You don't have liked songs? You do. You have 769
I
liked songs.
do. It's more like I use it more as a bookmark of time. Like, okay, what new song comes to me that I'm like really interested right now? So it's usually one-off songs. It's very seldom like, oh, I just listened to this album. Let me put three of these songs on here.
Okay. I don't think we should get into that.
Okay, we don't have to. But if I were gonna put one, I should put one. I might let's throw it on there and let's see.
Lucky is the lucky
I've been
one.
getting good about like as I'll listen back through my liked songs, if I find that I want to skip it, I take it off.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Because
Because
why
I
is it that
really
it's not liked?
it's not like anymore. Like at one point you could convince me, but now I'm like, no, like I don't need to listen to this. But I really do
So,
love if I listen back through my liked songs, it very much is a timeline to me. Because I'm like, oh yeah, I
yeah.
remember when I got into Hobo Johnson 2 years ago, things like that.
Yeah. I mean, I use it similarly. I think what I don't understand is why you can't have like three, because they are part of the same timeline.
Because I
All right.
kind of like it as a shuffle. It's like my own playlist.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it
not
does make
like those
sense.
two
I
are
don't
going to play
know.
back to back.
That's true. Well, no, I always play it in order.
You,
Like like pretty much. Yeah, I'll just like hit play from the top and then just keep going for a while.
how do you get to the end?
I don't often, you're right. Like that's
So
why.
you're not remembering old songs then, Kev. Come
Well, no,
on.
I had a project a couple months ago where I did specifically listen. Like I always picked back up where I was. And that's why, if you recall, I think I once texted our friend group and said like Spotify, it's this very weird bug that like is probably my fault and I don't know what I'm doing. But sometimes when my Bluetooth connects to my phone, I will in the car, I will have just been listening to a song like 100 songs deep into my liked songs and say I was a minute and 57 seconds into the song. Spotify will play always the first song starting in a minute and 57 seconds into it.
That makes no
It's the
sense.
right, it's the weirdest, goofiest thing, but it'll happen where I'll just like get into my car and I'll hit play and it'll be like, "Oh, you wanted your first song at the first 15 seconds?" Like and then I get mad because I'm like, shit, I gotta like scroll all the way back to find where I was. Anyhow, a very
I
first world
this is
problem.
eliminating because it's like I think everybody so like obviously everybody has a different taste in music and
Correct.
listens to different music. And that tells you
Where
something
it's
about
going.
them.
Yeah.
But also, I think people have different um like modes of listening to music. And it's not even just like
Hmm.
literally what's the media that they're using, but like the way that you engage with your liked list is like a mode of listening to music that I don't
Right.
do.
Yeah, how do
Right?
you do it? Because that's like I'm curious about that. Like, what do you do?
I think I am far less um like structured about it and far less like purposeful about it than you are. It sounds like because my general thing is similar to you. Like if there's I'm liking songs, I'll add them to my liked list, and I will often just shuffle, and I always shuffle. I don't play it. I shouldn't say always, but I rarely play it from the top.
Hmm.
My liked songs. I occasionally will go and find because it is kind of like that chapter book. I will go and find like a
Yeah,
chapter and be like,
sections. Yeah.
yeah, but not really often. Mostly I just shuffle it. Um, And then I put things into playlists and albums. And most of the time, the playlist is just an album. And sometimes it's like a slightly curated playlist. And I will go back to those playlists. But I have the problem of forgetting a lot of music that I didn't do that for. And then I'm just like, oh, I don't hear that song anymore because I just forgot to
Yeah.
do that thing. And that is a real problem that I like, I wish I had the bandwidth to solve it because it would actually like improve my life, but
It just like
it's silly.
happens. Like there's always going to be these things that get lost in between. Like it's sad
Yeah.
because I've thought about that a lot too. I was telling someone the other day that for a long time, I still tell people that I don't remember this, but apparently I told you about Spotify in college. But then for some reason, I didn't have Spotify for a long time and
I
just used YouTube. So like so much of my world is gone because it's all YouTube history stuff that I forget those phases of my life that it's not even tracked.
I've had the very similar experience. There's also the physical media, which you still have, but
Yeah,
like
yeah, that's
a
true.
bunch of CDs. And how about I was thinking about my iPod the other day, and just like all
Yeah,
the songs from iTunes that I just don't have anymore that were just like I never bought the whole album. I never,
yeah.
and those are like from even like those are from like middle school days, like bus ride days. And not that I would, I'm not going to listen to that music a lot,
But like you
but there
wonder
are
what was
pieces.
there. Yeah, like what
You
was
do,
on
and
it.
there are songs where you're like, God, that's a great song. Like, "Steal My Sunshine"
Yeah.
by,
Len,
I'm gonna say Len, but it could be L.E.N.
Elian.
Um, like that's a great like middle school song that
You guys
is
got me
just
back
like
into
a
that
banger.
song. It's a really good song. It doesn't make any sense.
How many others are like that,
The
Kevin?
interlude song parts make no sense.
Does he like butter
Does he
tarts?
like butter tarts? What like we gotta cheer him up. Does he like butter tarts? And then like Karen, I love you. Like it just so
Yeah.
it's so it's so
Ah, it's a great song. Uh, Shout out to Elliot and Romeo
Prejudice
plus
before
Juliet.
this would be Elian. Okay, liked songs, don't add it. This is great. I mean, like, I'm glad you did it. I think, yeah, like you'd said when you texted me about
Had
this,
to be
you gotta
done.
pick heavy hitters at some point, and
We
you
got
did.
to just come out here and do some masterpieces. So here it is. I'm glad you thought it was art. I'm glad you heard it.
Yeah,
I'm
me too.
glad Lucky made it onto your liked songs. Um, I I think we will come back to Radiohead in the future.
Oh, I'm sure at
Um,
some point. When's the last album they came out with?
2016.
That's what I thought. Are they done? The
I
no
don't think
Effects?
they're not on an
Official.
official
Yeah.
hiatus or anything. They just don't produce a lot and they do a lot of side project stuff. They've
Wait,
made 9 studio albums and I just feel like you got to get to 10, you know? So
are they in Rainbows or am I mixing up LCD Sound System? They're
they
in
are,
Rainbows. Okay. That was
which
what was that like oh
was going to be my pick for
okay.
this because that's my
That's what I
heart's favorite
thought.
Radiohead album.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Um, but weirdly enough, I like I said, my taste has changed. It's something that I probably would not listen to as much right now as I would
Hmm.
something like OK Computer. So here we are. Everything happens for no reason. Um, yeah.
Good pick. Good album. What if I did? I really did think like, what if I came out here? I'm like, I don't get it, guys. Like, what's the deal with this band?
I want you to be honest when that happens, but you also still have to talk about it for an hour. So like you kind of
I
have to
just
find
got
reasons.
some like thoughts. Yeah.
Yeah, you
All
have to
right.
find things.
Anything else you want to add about OK Computer?
No, no, it's it's art.
Sorry.
We solved it 30 years later. It's a great album.
Can confirm all these years later. That's pretty good.